What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing a tier list of the best Walking Dead seasons. I've been a massive fan of The Walking Dead since the show started. Like 13 years ago now. It's pretty enough to say. I only started watching The Walking Dead when I started my last job there. So that's how long ago that was. This one obviously is seasons 1 to 11. The main Walking Dead series is now finished. Obviously there's spin-off after spin-off coming out. Maybe in the future I'll rank spin-off seasons, because I know there's multiple seasons of Daryl Dixon and Dead City coming, and I am pretty certain with how the season of The Ones Who Live is wrapping up and how much more they still have to do in one more episode. I'm guessing there'll be a second season of that as well, and then there'll be a big Avengers Endgame style series where everybody gets together, or a TV movie or something, and all the shows will come together one last time. Even throw Fear the Walking Dead in there too, because why not? As I said, I've loved this show. Yes, there's definitely a few of the seasons where it was like they sort of just completely went off the boil, but we're going to get into it, guys. There's obviously is no section for haven't seen. We've seen every single episode. We'll try to, it's out of order on the bottom, but we'll try to stay in order as we're going. So if we're staying in order, there's only one place we can begin. Season 1, 6 episodes, absolutely crazy. Every episode just went harder and harder. It's an S. If season 1 hadn't have been as good as what it was, like, there's no way AMC would have kept pumping money into it, because like the budget for a show like The Walking Dead, just with all the makeup and all the extras you need for zombies, it'd be insane. So it had to be amazing, and it was. As I said, it was only 6 episodes, so that is why like the whole theme of the show was just non-stop action. It was like constantly going somewhere. There was no real space for character development, because there was no time. You like the main characters, you got to know what they were about, and that was it. Anybody outside of that was just generic. But it is what they had to do. Because me putting this in S tier, this will lead into what I'm going to give season 2, which is probably one of the most like shit on seasons out of the whole show. But no, that started perfectly. The first 6 episodes are iconic, and it really showed Andrew Lincoln could be a leading man, and thankfully he just ran and ran with it. Season 2, as I said, this is a very divisive season. When it first came out, it was obviously 13 episodes. AMC were more confident in it. They gave it a bigger budget. And when they gave it 13 episodes, it was basically their way of saying, right, we've went insane on the first season, now we do actually need to build characters. This is the most character development season in my opinion. Like likes of Shane, Rick, Laurie, Glenn, Maggie, Herschel, everyone, even T-Dog, Daryl finally started becoming more integrated with the group properly. Everybody got an arc, and it was needed. Look, was it as exciting as the first season? Of course it wasn't. It was never going to be. But when you've got 13 episodes, it has to be filler episodes. There has to be episodes where you do build character. But because it's sandwiched between an S tier season and, you'll see when I give season 3, I'd give it a B. I think I can still go back and rewatch season 2 and enjoy it. Like the whole reveal of Sophia in the barn, like that's probably one of the most iconic moments in the entire show. Rick killing his first human, obviously, in the mid-season opener. This season was a very big part of what made Rick who he is, and then obviously one episode from the end, Shane and Rick finally confronting each other, and Rick killing Shane. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you're watching this without watching the show. So as I said, loads of iconic moments, but it's still a B at best. It could have been better, but they had to do what they did. Season 3, obviously it opened up off the back of the reveal that everyone's infected, and Laurie is heavily pregnant at this stage. Season 3 is an S tier for me. I would honestly say this could potentially be my favourite season. I would really have to sit down and think hard about it before committing to that. I think season 3 is amazing. The first season in the prison, just everything they do together, everybody's on point. Obviously we lose Laurie, I think episode 3, she dies giving childbirth. My opinion, no offence to forget her name, Sarah Callis. No offence to her, but her character was written terribly. It really was. It was designed for her to be the fail on this show, in my opinion. She's a terrific actress. She was terrific in Prison Break, but she was just, her little character of Laurie was not destined for this show. But the way Rick goes after that, unbelievable. This is when people started realizing, yeah, Andrew Lincoln, like if he was on a show that wasn't about zombies, he would probably be winning Emmys. But this is when Carl Chandler Riggs, like, is when he really started to step up. And this is the first season when everyone just started falling in love with Daryl properly. Like, Norman Reedus just showed that he is absolutely perfect, and the fact that he isn't in the comics, he's original to the show, like, just means the sky's the limit for that character, and everyone loves him. We also had the Governor, like, absolutely incredible. Like, they did this story with the Governor perfectly. They gave a couple of episodes dedicated just to Woodbury. Perfect decision. We had Michael Rooker return as Merle. Unbelievable. Michael Rooker's brilliant in anything he does. Like, I love him as Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's just incredible in it. And I do like that he got the redemption at the end. Obviously, spoiler alert again, he doesn't make it out of season 3, but like, it is good that he had the redemption arc by the end of it. And Michonne as well, she was introduced. Like, this season just had everything going for it. Oh, and we got rid of TV show Andrea, yay! Because honestly, the show wrote Andrea so terribly. Because I think that the comics only ended well after the likes of season 3, and obviously Andrea got with Rick in the comics, and like, she basically has Michonne's role that Michonne has in the show, and I very much doubt the AMC realised how big she was going to become in the comics when they killed her off, but they did write her terribly. Like, I hated her every season she was in. So this season killed off all the people I didn't like, essentially, so I was happy with that. So it's definitely an S tier season. Season 4, I was surprised season 4 even opened with the prison. I thought season 3 finale would be the Governor destroying the prison and dying there, but no, they kept the Governor around, and all the way to the mid-season finale list. I think it's an A. There's definitely points where it's not as strong as the previous season. The whole storyline about Rick not wanting to fight anymore, it's like, I'm sorry buddy, but that is just you. That's your whole persona. It's like, you do need to fight. This is the first time Rick had like I can't even say the word, had a crisis, and he went on to have quite a few more. He was broken quite a few more times in the show, but the whole storyline with the flu that was killing people, no, it wasn't for me. It did create a bit of drama, of course, but then when people like Herschel and Glenn were like on the sick ward and they were getting sick, and you're just thinking, if these two are going to die, it's not going to be to this. Let's just be honest, and we all knew Glenn was destined for a much bigger death at that point. I think it was already out in the comics, so it could have been much better. When the Governor destroyed the prison and obviously killed Herschel in the brutal way he did, like, that was probably one of the best mid-season finales I think there is. But then to have the Governor killed so easily in the end, not by Michonne stabbing him because he didn't die a lot, but by his own girlfriend shooting him. Yeah, and I didn't need all the side episodes that season, of the Governor with his new family and all. I just didn't need that. They should have just integrated it like with like normal episodes, not dedicated whole episodes to it. So, but I did enjoy the back half of season 4. That's why it is an A. I know I just shit on it a lot there. It's up to an A because the back half of the season where they're all split up, they've all got their own individual stories, they're all heading to Terminus. You've obviously got the likes of Daryl and Beth together. Like, it's unreal how surprising that worked. It's like that didn't even make sense. It is unreal how well that went. Daryl and Beth should not have went together as a duo so well on TV, but it did. They were fantastic. They balanced each other out. They were constantly at odds. Daryl was teaching her how to live, essentially. It was brilliant. Rick, Michonne and Carl together, brilliant. And this is also when they started introducing, I think, Abraham, Rosita and Eugene, obviously. They found Glenn, then Maggie, etc. Like that, Alfredo's characters are iconic. So I'm happy with that. Season 4 did end well, and the cliffhanger ending as well, where they're all captured at Terminus, and obviously Rick does the inspirational speech. It's very, very good. You just fucked with the wrong people. For anyone who saw the deleted version. Season 5. This is obviously to make it the Alexandria in season 5. They destroy Terminus. I'm gonna give it an A as well. The opener alone, where Carol just bodies the entire community of Terminus by herself, is probably up there with one of the coolest moments that's ever been on The Walking Dead. Like, Carol went from like this season 1 just lady trying to survive her husband, trying to keep her daughter safe, to literally destroying an entire community by herself, sniping people like out of nowhere, blowing up entire buildings, killing countless people by herself. Just Carol was unreal. Like, and obviously I didn't even mention about the season 4, like she was fresh off the storyline about having to stop that wee girl who killed her sister. Like, obviously I don't remember her name, but obviously like, or the character being free a lot. And I haven't mentioned Tyrese because I didn't like the character of Tyrese in the show, or I didn't like his sister either, Sasha. I didn't like either of them. Yeah, I think Tyrese was wasted. Obviously, anyone who's read the comics knows Tyrese is a massive character in the comics. He was obviously introduced a lot earlier, but he's a massive character, and the show did not know what to do with him at all, and even changed key parts of his persona, which I did not like. But season 5, like, they're obviously, it's more a struggle of them just trying to find somewhere to survive. Like, the bump into Aaron and all. Aaron's a great character. Alexandria was a great place. Rick becomes a police officer in Alexandria. It went very well, I have to say. I enjoyed season 5. Season 6 is when, for me, people pinpoint it at season 7 for when The Walking Dead started to decline. I pinpoint it, for me personally, at season 6. Season 6 for me is a C. It obviously opened up on, they had to, they had to get the big massive horde out of the dam and lead it away, and that spanned a couple of episodes. And then there was the wolves, who were killed off on one episode, apart from them showing up sparingly after. Carol once again destroying an entire group almost single-handedly. Morgan jumping in here and there. Season 6 is a C as well, because I didn't like the character of Morgan. Morgan was great season 1, season 3 season 1, and I think it was season 4 they went back in season 3 to get the guns, and then season 4 or 5 he had his own individual episode where it showed Jim obviously getting the big stick. But his character of not wanting to hurt people and all, yeah, that just became infuriating. It really did. There was quite a few infuriating characters in season 6. Obviously, I think this is where they meet Dwight. Yeah, season 6 is where they obviously meet Dwight and Sherry and all, and they backstab Daryl. Obviously, it's got the cool moment of Daryl blowing up the saviors on the road. But honestly, I think just the whole season was just a letdown. It's like, it felt like it was just waiting around too much for Negan to show up. We obviously heard about the saviors early on in season 6. We were introduced to the kingdom, introduced to Hilltop. Like, it was all coming together, but it just felt like it was stagnated, waiting for Negan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, to finally show up to kick the show into high gear. It obviously ends on probably the most iconic cliffhanger in TV history of Negan swinging a bat at somebody and the blood coming down. But you don't know who it is unless you've read the comics. But it turns out that specific shot wasn't from who you thought it was, and then they went and killed your favourite anyway. Season 7, I don't want to put it as a D, because I'll put it at C, simply because Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan is one of the most perfect casting you'll ever see for a TV show. If you read Negan on a page and then you look at what actors should play Negan in a show, it's perfect. The storytelling and script for season 7 was terrible. Negan was too slapstick. Yes, I know Negan in the comics has all the jokes. Some absolutely iconic moments have came from Negan in the comic books, just being funny. But he wasn't serious enough in season 7. It's like, obviously, the episode alone where he goes to Alexandria, obviously got Spencer. He says to Rick, "I fed your kids spaghetti." That's hilarious, but it shouldn't be. And this is a show where this guy and his community are basically holding like 4 or 5 communities hostage at this point, killing innocent people along the way, and he's just telling jokes about spaghetti. It's like, it is funny, but it's not meant to be funny. The script was terrible. Like, so many characters were infuriating. likes of Rosita trying to get that one bullet to take out Negan, and you're just thinking, what do they think the saviors are going to do when Negan's dead? They're just going to take over and be even worse. Like, at least Negan had morals. Like, obviously you can't do certain things at the sanctuary. Just everything about season 7 was just thing. Like, starting off with killing Abraham, I thought, solid move, keep Glenn around. It's like, Abraham, you would see him as a threat if you were in Negan's position, let's be honest. And see, to be fair, Rick's group did start it. Negan's group did not start this with Alexandria, it was Rick's group. And he only took one of them out. And then Daryl had to just lose his cool and get Glenn killed. The Glenn one was even worse because Maggie was there, to be honest. I think that's when they went from like 17 million viewers from the opening. 17 million viewers watched this season 7 opener. I think they dropped out 3 or 4 million to the next episode. People never came back. The Walking Dead slowly just decreased in viewership, even when it did start to get good again. But season 7 just wasn't it. Season 8, I'm going to put it at B. It's actually very nicely balanced here. The opener with like all the communities coming together to start taking Negan down. Rick's obviously been brought back from a very dark place. Very good acting, very good storytelling. I don't think him and Michonne were together at this point. They might have been, but in my head I've lost track of when him and Michonne got together. But I think they actually were, because it wasn't long after them going out with Daryl and meeting Jesus and all. So Negan was a lot better in this season. He was a lot more serious. He obviously captured Gabriel early on. It's like they had heard all the complaints about season 7's Negan, and they made it a bit better. Obviously Dwight started playing both sides. It was a good story. I thought Dwight was a good character, to be fair. Eugene, like, we obviously know what Eugene's end goal was now, but all throughout season 8 you just wanted to reach for into the screen and strangle Eugene. You really did, because you thought he had just fully sold out Alexandria. But we all know what he did now. Honestly, and the final battle as well, fantastic scenes. The guns backfiring, injuring everybody, and then just all the communities just taking down Negan's group. It was a good twist, the fact that let's be honest, anyone who knows anything about shows, that we knew that Jeffrey Dean Morgan wasn't getting killed off. There was no chance. And people were saying he should be killed off because of how bad season 7 was. They should just cut out that bit of the comic story. Obviously in the comics Negan was captured and kept in prison at Alexandria. So that was definitely still happening. Jeffrey Dean Morgan was not being killed off any show, that's for sure. And it ended very well. It's still a B. It could have been so much better. They did get their act together after season 7, but this is when they start trying to slowly build back up. Season 9 is a tough one, because obviously we know that this is the last season for Andrew Lincoln. I think he was only in 6 episodes. I'm going to give it a B. I'm giving it a B because good points. This is when Norman Reedus really started to step up. Obviously he had to, because the lead actor in the show was gone now. I think at the time he was earning equal to Andrew Lincoln, so you expect him to be the one to step up. Rick was very good in the first 6 episodes, obviously trying to usher in the new era of the Sanctuary, helping out all the communities coming together and working together. It was a very good ending for Rick. I loved the flashbacks of Shane. I loved him just thinking about his family, and obviously goes out like a badass blowing up the bridge. I think he could have stepped back a bit and still made that shot. But that's not nitpick. It's obviously trying to manufacture the situation. And then I remember watching it thinking, I can't believe they just killed Rick Grimes, and then all of a sudden Jadis with the helicopter scoots him off, and you're just thinking, why? I think it was directly after this episode. I think the episode had been a couple of hours. We got the announcement about Rick Grimes will return in a movie trilogy, and you're just like, why? Why a movie trilogy? At that time, everybody assumed The Walking Dead was going to go on for years and years and years. They had so much comic material they could still pull from. They hadn't even started the Whisper War at this stage, and they obviously did later in the season. But were they really that certain that Andrew Lincoln would never return to the main Walking Dead show? I suppose they sort of thought that everyone that stayed with The Walking Dead on season 9, they deserve to have the spotlight now. It wouldn't be fair if Andrew Lincoln came back in 3 seasons time and everything's about him again, because the likes of Norman Reedus did stay. He was in near enough every episode of The Walking Dead. It's like, and he deserved to be the star now. So the Whisperers brought this season up as well. Like, that's, I think it was the season finale, was it, where obviously she put all of the heads of community members on pikes and said that was the barrier, don't cross into our land. That was one of the most badass things I ever done in The Walking Dead, and it's the fact that like the communities didn't retaliate. Like, when it started off the next season, they were still, oh, we can't cross into Alpha's land. No. And she killed like 10 of your people and put their heads on pikes. How can you just not retaliate? But that's how good Alpha was. Alpha was an absolute badass. I really enjoyed it, and obviously we didn't get to finish off the Whisperer War until the next season. Season 10, it's an A for me. Simply because, see, taking Negan out of prison, like, he started coming out of prison like in the previous season, the last couple of episodes. Season 10, where obviously Carl breaks him out of prison, and he's just trying to integrate with the Whisperers. Some of the scenes with him, Alpha and Beta, are unbelievable. It's like, and it's funny because he makes it funny. It's not funny because of how bad it is. That is the thing. It's proper Negan. The scenes with him and Alpha are just mad. It's madness, but it is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant storytelling. Obviously, I still remember the scene where the Whisperers are out the front of Hilltop, and that one of the Whisperers' babies start crying, and Alpha's just like, just leave it on the ground, and you're just thinking, yeah, this is probably one of the best villains on The Walking Dead. She probably is. Like Alpha probably was the best villain on it. Her or the Governor, I think, because forget his name. Andrew Morrissey? No, Mr. Morrissey. Something Morrissey. Like, he was unbelievable as well, but Alpha was just so cutthroat. Like, she would do anything to take these people down, so she was fantastic. But then we obviously knew from the comic books how that was going to end, and it played out perfectly. Obviously, Negan looking like he was giving over Lydia to Alpha, just for Alpha to open the door and get her head cut off, her throat slit, then cut off, and then the reveal it was Carol that let Negan out. It was perfect, absolutely perfect. If I was using memes in this video, it would be the Homelander meme. Perfect, just perfect. The whole season was brilliant, I thought, but it did not reach the heights of 1 and 3. It sort of shows you, like, after season 3, in my personal opinion, remember, there wasn't a single season so far that made it the S tier. Season 11 broke that trend for me. And bringing in the Commonwealth, all of that stuff, all of the individual stories, like, you had so much going on. You had Ezekiel and Princess and Yumiko and Eugene all going looking for another community. You had Daryl still looking for Rick slightly, but he had more concentrated. You had Michonne just had buggered off by this point. she's like, I found a picture on a boat, so I'm out of here looking for Rick. The girl has faith. You have to give her credit on that. I really liked how much Judith had grown in this season. Obviously, she was grown up in the previous season. People like RJ and all got no screen time. But I did like the whole, like, political aspect of it, the corruption within the Commonwealth community. Like, it was very, very different to what The Walking Dead had explored. I think it's probably something we'll delve back into in the likes of the Ones Who Live series. But season 11 was fantastic. It ended, in my opinion, perfectly. Apart from the whole sequence of them luring in the walkers into the estate with music and then blowing it all up. The reintroduction of smart walkers, one, it is a very good thing, because, like, it's something that people were questioning for so long. Where are the smart walkers? We seen them in season 1 when they were trying to open doors and all. Like, Morgan's wife, she was trying to open a door, she was using the doorknob, and 10 seasons it took to see another one, and we've seen quite a few, to be honest. But there was every single actor and actress in season 11 brought it. There was there wasn't as much death as I thought there was going to be. Obviously, Rosita passed in the finale. Who else passed? I think out of our main gang, apart from, like, if you include Luke and all, yes, he passed. But I don't include Luke as the main gang. The likes of Rosita was the only one that really passed. There should have been a bit more death. But I've learned, like, from watching things where you expect a lot of death and then it doesn't come, it's not necessarily a bad thing as long as the story does justify it. Like when I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3 last year, all of the rumours were saying Drax will die, Rocket will die, Nebula could probably die, and I went into the film thinking I don't want my favourite characters to die, and then they didn't, and it was still emotional. So it can work as long as the story justifies it. And season 11, giving so many people a happy ending, but also leaving it open-ended for the likes of Daryl to go off looking for Rick because now Judith has spilled the beans. Carol to obviously be looking over her shoulder thinking, yeah, I'm totally going to. Like, season 11 was a return to form, and it is such a shame that I think viewership had dropped below 10 million by this point, so 7 million down from the season 7 opener. 7 million people had left. It is a shame that them people might never get to see The Walking Dead that returned to form. Because then if they had seen season 11, they would have watched Dead City, they would have watched the Daryl Dixon Show, and they would have watched The Ones Who Live. All three of those shows are quality. Absolutely quality, and they do brilliant at expanding the Walking Dead universe. Every actor in it is brilliant. The storylines, the scripts are brilliant. So I probably will do a tier list on them at some point when they've all got like 4 seasons each. But I wish more people would come back to The Walking Dead and give it a chance, because even Negan did improve. Like, and Negan, when he was full on good guy in season 11, 10, like Jeffrey Dean Morgan played Negan absolutely brilliantly. The whole anti-hero, he's like the Stone Cold Steve Austin of the Walking Dead universe. He was brilliant. That's my list, guys. Very, very balanced. As you can see, there's none in D. In my opinion, The Walking Dead, even at its absolute worst, was still a show you could put on anytime. Did season 7 go a bit over the top on the gore? Yes, but it's a show about zombies. It's a show about like guts everywhere, people dying constantly. There is going to be gore, and it was rated 18 to be fair, like the season 7 premiere, so it's not as if you weren't warned. But very consistent show in my opinion. Out of these 3, season 3 is the best in my opinion. Like, it just is. Can't even move it. I'd say season 1's better than 11. Yeah, that's fair. I won't move all the rest around. But that's my list, guys. If you've got your own list, it's not even that long of a list, so you can probably pop it in the comments down below. If you agree or disagree with anything I said, sure, work away, send a comment. Now, I will reply to it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Do all that stuff you guys do. And I shall see you on the next one.